Yeah, no, once the sun starts setting at like 5 p.m., like the depression starts hitting early.
Yeah.
All right, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Grief Uncensored. I'm Yako.
And I'm Julia. We believe that your grief is your own and no one can tell you what to do with it, but we're glad you're here and that you found us. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, our most active platform, where we have a Feature Your Loved One series where you can send in a caption and photos of your loved one to be featured on our page. We also have a Facebook group for grieving in your 20s, and we also have a TikTok where we're posting unhinged, unfiltered grief videos.
Yep, and we recently started a Twitter, so you can follow us on there as well. And finally, we have the YouTube video version of all of our podcasts where you can just watch us. So if you're interested in any of that, the link is in our Instagram bio. So make sure to check that out.
Amazing.
So, how are you? How's it
Um,
going?
it's going okay. So it's not the best, I think, if I'm being honest.
Hmm.
Um, and that's just honestly the reality. I think like it's just a shitty time right now. I think it's not summer where everyone's traveling and having fun. It's not necessarily sunny and warm where I live. And I don't know. I think I'm just in a little bit of a negative headspace right now. And I was like saying the other day how I have this toolbox, right? Where I'm like, if I have a bad day or if I like wake up and it's just like one of those days where like my head is foggy and I'm just like, I don't have like a really super strict schedule that I follow. So I don't know, I have more time on my hands, I think, than other people who are like maybe have a 9 to 5 or something. So like I think I have a lot of time, maybe arguably too much time, because like I will just like be thinking too much. And it doesn't get me anywhere. So I have my toolbox. So, let me just go maybe take a cold shower, go work out, or like go dive into one of my projects and stuff. And it doesn't work all the time, which sucks. And
Yeah.
like, I don't know, that's kind of just where I've been standing the last few weeks. And that's not to say that it's been like horrible like that all the time, but it's definitely not the best time right now. And I think that has largely to do with just being it November, December right now. And it just sucks. Like,
Yeah. Once it starts to get like cold, you're just like more, I don't know, it just reminds you of what's coming, which is the fucking holiday season, which is
yeah,
Thanksgiving, Christmas, or if you don't celebrate Christmas, maybe Hanukkah. Even if you don't celebrate
holiday
Christmas,
season.
yeah, you
Yeah.
see it everywhere. And it's like everybody knows that like that's supposed to be time where you spend with your family.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot of Christmas movies that are just triggering.
Oh my God,
And
they're so triggering. Like,
yeah,
I will see a commercial for a Christmas movie or like a holiday movie, and I'm just like, I can't take this cheer. Like, this is too much holiday cheer.
yeah, the joys bring joy to the world.
I wish I could. I want to be happy.
It's like conflicting because
No,
like,
it is so conflicting.
yeah, because like there is moments of joy, but they're always like bittersweet.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like always brought back down with the reality of grief. Sometimes it doesn't happen right in the moment. You're able to have that joyous moment and have it be just that in that moment at least, but then later there's like that moment where you find that it hits you, and it always hits you, like it does, which
I
I hate
know.
that, but
Yeah, you really can't get away from that. But fucking yeah, the holiday season is just not easy. And also for me, like the 2 year anniversary is December 11th.
mhm.
So I think that date just lives in my head all year. But
Yeah,
like now that it's coming up to it, it's gonna be my 23rd, 24th birthday.
holy shit.
And that's only a couple, like literally 2 days after the 2 year anniversary. So it's like falls in the same week and it's just like so
Yeah.
chaotic. Like it's just so weird, dude, because like I want to celebrate my birthday. Like I'm 24 and my second birthday was clearly ruined by my mom dying. And my 23rd, I don't even remember what happened. I think I maybe repressed it. Like I can't really remember at the top of my head. But
Yeah.
um, like I'm starting to get to a stage where I'm like, I really want to be happy and I'm like really trying. But like, come on, like when it falls 2 days between each other, I'm like, this is like not the best like cards that I've been dealt. Like it's
Yeah.
not the funnest. I honestly wish I could change my birthday to like celebrate my birthday on like my half birthday now. Like what if I just changed it to June 14th? Like no.
Honestly.
But
Yeah. I I relate to that because my dad passed a few days after my birthday, so March
mhm,
will always just remind me of that too, which sucks. And also because birthdays and death anniversaries are both holidays where you have to acknowledge time passing. So
exactly.
they're
It's like
both
it's like
painful.
destined to just be sad. Like I don't feel old yet. Like I'm okay with turning 24. I think the only reason why I wouldn't be okay with it is just because like these past 2 years have flown by and I feel like guilty sometimes because I feel like I don't have a lot to show for it because it's like been 2 years of like living mental hell. And obviously we've gotten through a lot and I think
Mhm.
like I'm proud of that, but like in regular societal standards, no, I don't really have that much to show for it. So like I think it's just like makes me feel guilty when I think about all the time that has passed. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's time to like start really trying to like make big moves and stuff. But like
But I think you
I really
have.
want
I
to.
think I think that you have made big moves. Like you're literally in a new city now, and like
Yeah.
I know it doesn't. It's like so much easier said than
Your own
done.
accomplishments are never good enough for yourself, I suppose.
Exactly, exactly. I was gonna just go into how like we're our biggest critics, and so like if you
Mhm.
saw someone doing what we do from the outside, we'd be like, yo, that person's killing the game. Like they're really like doing everything they can to reconcile with this grief and like making it into something positive. I think that if we saw other people doing what we do, given what we had been dealt, like we would be like, that is amazing,
Yeah.
you know? But like for ourselves, we're like, oh, you could do more. Like I, often feel guilty when I'm not working on this podcast like 24/7 or something. Like, like we'll take a week off and then we'll just feel so guilty for doing it. And we're
Yeah.
like, we should be doing more, or I don't know.
Exactly.
It's so, yeah. But the honest truth is, and what we always say, or we've had said before, is just that it takes a huge toll to come here and rip out your chest for everybody to hear. And then, now with the guests that we've been having, it's gut-wrenching hearing their story too. I mean, we love to hear it, and that's why we have them on, but it's like never a light, easy conversation. It's
Yeah.
it's emotionally taxing. And we've seen also from our guests too, is that they'll kind of be like burnt out at the end because it's like a
Oh yeah.
full hour and a half of you, rubbing salt in your wounds.
Yeah.
So it isn't easy. And so,
It's not. But I also think, and I know you agree, like how rewarding it really is because
absolutely.
at the end of the day, the messages that we get from you guys, if you ever think of messaging us, like please do because I check our DMs literally every day because we get so many beautiful messages and like anytime I get one, like I immediately whoever sees it first, like we'll screenshot and send it to each other because it's just like it really truly makes it worth it
It does.
because like we can see how many people listen, but we don't know like what you guys are thinking or like
Yeah,
if
right.
it was good or what. So like any type of feedback is really appreciated and also just like so incredible to hear.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I mean like that's why we're like still here doing
Of
this
course,
when
yeah.
we're on like what episode like how many do we have in total?
We've
Like
done a
8
lot.
or
We've
something?
we've done like 22 or something.
Okay, so we're gonna be reaching 30 at some point.
Yeah. We're
But still, like, that's a lot.
Yeah. We've done a lot of episodes, and also like that is what I said is not to say that we don't love it and like that it's not something we want to be doing. We want to be doing. It's not a chore and it's not a burden. It's just that sometimes it is very emotionally taxing, which
Yeah.
we need to acknowledge as well because we're
Yeah,
only
of course.
human and we're doing the best that we can, but sometimes our critical selves doesn't think that that's enough.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, you're totally right. It is. And honestly, I think sometimes we're even able to like kind of compartmentalize when we're like making like graphics and stuff. Like sometimes I forget that I'm making it about like something that's very sad and like complex. And I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, I'm just making this cute graphic. And then I remember like it's about something so sad. And I'm just like, yeah, like none of this is easy. Like none of this is like happy. Like,
Yeah.
I think just because it's like me and you, we are always like giggling and stuff. So like there are like if it was horrible, guys, we wouldn't be doing it. But
Yeah.
like we like it because like I think it's such a good outlet and like hearing from you guys, I mean everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways.
Anyways, yeah, just like back to this terrible time. We like did an Instagram poll recently a couple weeks ago asking you guys like if you felt this way too, where you just feel like at the end of fall slash beginning of winter season is like some of the worst in the grief time because
Yeah.
it's just I don't know. I don't know what it is. There must be some reason. I guess that it has to do with the holidays, but it's not just that. It's like seasonal depression, I think, too. Like
Yeah. And oh, it's because the daylight savings was just a couple of days ago. And like now everyone's like, oh my God, the sun's going down at like 4 p.m.
yeah, no, once the sun starts setting at like 5 p.m., like the depression starts hitting early.
Yeah, exactly. So
There's
like
just more time for you to just sit in the dark, which sounds so dramatic, but it's true.
sit alone in the dark.
Yeah, sitting alone in the dark, doom scrolling.
Okay, yeah,
Mm.
here's the poll. So the poll was in grief, October, November, and December are the worst slash hardest months. And it was literally 90-10. So like 90% of people said that yes, like it is the hardest time. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
here's the poll. So the poll was in grief, October, November, and December are the worst slash hardest months. And it was literally 90-10. So like 90% of people said that yes, like it is the hardest time. And, I kind of knew that was gonna happen
Yeah.
because it's like the holidays, like, despite it's supposed to be, holly jolly, whatever, like, I think you get time off of work and to be with your family, and like you're supposed to maybe go on a family vacation. Some people do that, or you're
Mhm.
supposed to go home for the holidays. And so, for people with like their families that got broken up by grief or having some empty seats at the dinner table and stuff, like,
Yeah.
it's not really something to look forward to. It's almost like a dread. And like it's not even just that. It's also like because you compare it to all the other Christmases you had before. And
Hmm.
I'm just gonna say Christmas because that's what I personally celebrate during this time of the year. So it's like, okay, I have this Christmas celebration, right? And like, I don't know, my family usually didn't do anything big. It was usually just like our family dinners and stuff. And so it's like now I think my family wants to like do something completely different because we don't want to even face or like try and do a dinner without my mom. Like, because that specifically is like really depressing, right? And I think
Yeah.
maybe last year we did that and it was like pretty depressing. Like, we're trying to watch a Christmas movie and everyone's just like crying and everyone's just like kind of annoyed and like sad and griefy. And like it's the holidays and it's like, okay, like this is just horrible vibes, right? So
Hmm.
like the alternative is like, okay, let's go on a vacation. Like let's go to like whatever, like let's say Hawaii or something, right? Like wherever people go for Christmas. And it's like, okay, let's say we were to go to Hawaii. Okay, but then Hawaii is also sad, even though you're in Hawaii, because it's like you're still missing this person. Like you
Of
still,
course.
nothing seems like fun. Like you don't want to do anything if this person's not there. And like
Exactly.
this is not my first Christmas without my mom. In fact, this is gonna be my third Christmas without my mom. So it's just like it's so freaking frustrating because it's like half of me like I want to have a freaking good Christmas, but it's like part of me feels like that's impossible nowadays.
Yeah, I completely feel that. And like I've talked about it before, I think in the holiday episode that we had, but it's like for me, Christmas and holiday season was never or wasn't a fun time for a long time because like outside of my dad's death, there was already family issues. And so when you have family issues, regardless of grief, and if you have like a divorced family and you guys don't come together like the way other people's do, like it's
Mhm.
something that's brought into your face during this time. And so it makes me feel so conflicted because now is worse. And like now my family doesn't even get together for Christmas. Like my
Mhm.
family all live in separate states and there's no attempt for all of us to be in the same place for either
Mhm.
of these holidays. And it's like, I don't know, I guess it just makes me sad that even though it was bad before it, now it's worse. So that I wish I was like even a little bit more grateful for what I had, which is at least all my family is
Mhm.
alive. Even
Yeah.
if we're not, even if we're not all on a great page.
Mhm. Yeah, you're totally right. I also think like during this time I'm thinking more about all the past Christmases that I've had when my
Mhm.
mom was still here. Like when I was in college, I would like go fly to wherever my parents were living at the time to be there for like Christmas break and winter break and stuff. And it would be like a full month of being able to be with my parents and with my mom and stuff. And like I did cherish those times a lot when I was there, but I can't help but like wish that I cherished them even more, you know? Like
Yeah.
I instead of going to see like my friends from, that city, like I would rather have just spent it with my mom, but like that's just like the kind of thoughts that you have to battle and either way with grief because it's just like, okay, I wish I did this, I wish I did that, I wish I would have known that I had such limited time with her. And I just feel like I'm thinking about all that stuff a lot more around this time too.
Hmm. Yeah, that's totally relatable. It just sucks. Also, I want to say right now, like, if this is your first holiday without your loved one, the first obviously is probably the worst, but the first couple are really just so painful and
Mhm.
so yeah, it's just heartbreaking. So I just want to validate that for people who are going through it and you're not alone and I'm so sorry that you're dealing with this, but we're here for you, and I hope that you reach out to some friends or family that you have and
Yeah.
try to come together and do something to honor them and honor your loss and do something to take care of yourself too,
Mhm.
which we always say.
Yeah, you're right. And like you're gonna get through it even if it's like really hard. And just know that if you're crying on Christmas Day, like so are me and Yako, and probably so are a lot of other people who follow Grief Uncensored. So
Yeah.
you're not alone in that. And I've also heard that the first, two or three holiday seasons are the worst in grief. And so I'm hoping that's true because I'm kind of like so tired of this being like such a negative experience. And like, I don't know. I honestly like I'm kind of getting like overwhelmed with being so freaking gloomy. Like I want the Christmas spirit so bad. Like, but it's like it's just like so unreachable for me.
Yeah. This year I really want to like try to because I haven't made a fair attempt to try to like make a good Christmas season here in San Diego, like with my friends or with myself. Like never like really decorate, not too much. I don't know. At least not last year. Last year I did a little, but like I want to make a more effort to like try to bring that holiday season this year, even though it's gonna be painful. I feel like I don't know. I'm tired of this gloom, like you're saying. So
Yeah, I
I
know.
want to try to like do as much as possible and like make new memories that aren't all just sad. And of course, it's gonna be
Yeah.
sad too. But like I think I just want to like make other people happy too, so that we can all be happy at least for a little bit or
It's
for a
funny
day.
because I feel that way. And then like half of me also feels like I could just like get get by these next 2 months like without thinking too much and just kind of ignoring the holidays as much as possible,
Yeah.
and then just like starting the new year. And like I like the new year like sentiment, and like
Mhm.
leaving certain things in the year and stuff. Like I think I can get down with that easier than like pretending to like be super happy that it's the holidays and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
So like half of me like wants to be in my Christmas cheer, and then the other half of me like doesn't. So like they're constantly battling each other.
And so always
Don't
this
don't really know
duality.
who's gonna win. Like I guess we'll have to keep that to be determined.
It's always this duality with grief too.
Yeah, that's just how everything is with grief. So it's
Yeah.
just
And also continuing on with the duality is like this bittersweetness. So even if you are at a place where you can find some joy in Christmas or in other things surrounding this time, it's like always going to be brought back to reality with this
Mhm.
that you face, like so yeah, that bittersweetness is really something.
Yeah, I think that I am approaching that bittersweet stage where like I am able to feel a lot of joy, like especially compared to like back in early grief days. And by early grief days, I mean like the first year and stuff, because I'm finishing my second year now. And there was definitely way more like joyous moments. I think other aspects of grief came up in my second year, but like as far as like joyous moments and actually being able to like feel joy without feeling like so weird and guilty for it, like
Yeah, yeah.
definitely more of that in this past year. So I'm grateful for that, and I can see, from an outside perspective, like outward looking in, like okay, like grief seems to be lifting in that aspect where I can feel joy, like wow, amazing. And the bittersweet moments though, they're still so hard. So like it's hard because I feel like I don't want to keep not dwelling, but like I don't want to keep giving attention to like all the horrible parts, because like in general, like my life has still moved for the past 2 years, and like I've still done a lot of things. And even though that's not what I said 30 minutes ago, but saying like you know what I'm saying? Like life has continued, and I've still had to figure my life out and follow my passions and whatnot. And like, is it maybe partly because it looks completely different than what I thought it was? It's
Mhm.
taken 2 years to really kind of come to terms with like my future doesn't look like I thought it was going to, because like for years and years and years I had this painted picture of my future, and only for 2 years now has it been this new one that I've actually been like in the middle of like
Mhm.
painting that future for myself. So like it's just a weird ass time, dude. Like I
Oh, weird.
definitely have felt extremely lost, and I still feel that sometimes too. So, like you were saying, those bittersweet moments, like the bittersweet moments, like it hits you like a wave, because it's like, okay, I know this moment. Let's take a wedding, for example. I have a couple weddings coming up in my life. So there's like an example of a beautiful, fun family time, right?
Mhm.
And weddings are fun, you get have a couple of drinks, have a couple of laughs, have some dancing, like you get to travel maybe. So like it's a fun time, and I am looking forward to those. And I think I'm trying to prepare myself for the tears that are basically inevitable. And it's not like sad, like disruptive, depressive tears. It's more of those bittersweet tears, where it's just like, this is a beautiful moment and I'm happy, but I'm also deeply sad. So these tears are just going to be coming,
Mhm.
and
Exactly.
like for the weddings that are coming up for me, like I really wish my mom would be there. She, of course, would have been there if it wasn't for, her leaving. And so those things are inevitable to be in my head, to be in everyone's head, who's
Yeah.
thinking about her. So, like, can't run from it, basically. Like,
Yeah.
you just can't run from it. You can't run from the thought that your mom should have been here at all these events and weddings and stuff. Like, I'm not going to be able to run from it, but I think with a lot of mindfulness and like really purposefully guiding my thoughts to like, okay, she should have been here and she should be here, but I'm gonna still try and like stay present and like enjoy this moment and like think about her and still honor her.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, what really else can I do? You know,
Right.
like I can't like just dive right into these like depressive thoughts of the unfairness of her death. Like I just can't. So I have to like dive myself into these bittersweet moments because at this point, like that's really all I have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Weddings are the perfect example of like a bittersweet moment because of course it's happy, but it's like a family celebration that one you wish your mom could have been there for, and two, like it makes you think of your own wedding one day that she won't be at.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's another thing that I was gonna say. Like, that's another reason why I'm gonna be crying because like I do not want to see those mother-daughter dances or whatever they are, and like, oh God, that just rips my heart out every single time, you know?
Yeah.
And like,
Weddings in general just make me so emotional.
like I love love and I love weddings, so like I am excited because the only other wedding that I've been to as an adult, like I just cried. And and this was before my mom died. So I just am a crier at weddings, I think.
Mhm.
But this will be the first wedding without her. So I know that I'm just basically preparing myself.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you are dreading this holiday season and it's already becoming overwhelming for you, we are right there with you. Trust me. And I hope some of what we said today has been relatable and you feel a little bit less alone. But keep an eye out around Thanksgiving and around Christmas because we will have a mini episode that you guys can listen to, and it will just be a little affirming and maybe a little 5-minute meditation for all of us grievers during these holidays. And we know it can be super difficult. So we're going to try and give you a couple tools that you can just listen to, go run in the bathroom or go hide in your room for 10 minutes and listen to our minisode for the holidays with you guys because we're going to need it for sure. And hopefully we can provide a couple tips, and worst case scenario, message us because I'm gonna be on my Instagram for sure. So if you want to talk, just reach out.
And another thing is, we want to host a virtual dinner party soon, and that will just be like us on Zoom. Anybody who wants to can join, and we'll just talk, eat dinner on Zoom, maybe for like an hour or two. No plans are concrete on that, just an idea that we want
Just
to
an
throw
idea.
in. But yeah,
Yeah.
look forward to that and hang in there, and we'll see you soon.
Hang in there, guys.
Bye. See you next week.
See you next week.